welcome to Reefer After Dark, the first episode of Reefer After Dark, where we just smoke weed and enjoy what Reefer has to offer us. I'm here with my special guest, Uncle Warren from Extra Bola. How are you, my friend?
I'm all right, man. I'm digging the the smoke here in Fred Sanford's house.
Fred Sanford.
I think it's Rollo upstairs. He rolled a fatty with Lamont. So
Yeah.
you don't want to share with the old man. That's fine. Big dummy. I got my ripple somewhere over here.
Big dummy
on this side.
I like how you hit the big
You
dummy.
big dummy.
Big dummy's great.
I had edibles earlier, so I was supposed to go live earlier myself, but we had technical difficulties. Couldn't do it tonight. And I only had
hang out with Rick Overton and do that stuff. When's the next version? You rescheduled that, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do it on the 18th.
Gotcha.
Because next week, Franco's gonna be from Frank Analysis. He's gonna be on there. I think so. Hopefully, we get all our technical hopefully all the technical bugaboos will be out of the way. So, but since that fell through, and I said, "Oh shit, I'm gonna be on Reef Show," I had me a couple more edibles. So,
right, that's what I'm talking about. Speaking of edibles, let's go ahead and hit the what? Does green work for this show? Green works for this show, right? A little bit of green atmosphere, or do I go Michael Bay lighting? Do I Michael Bay it up and like hit that orange and blue modern feel? You know, we can go red.
I know it's like
get all romantic.
Who's the guy that did? Who's the one that did Batman and Robin with the Batman nipple things? Who's that? Schumacher. Joel Schumacher.
That's the one with you're talking about the Clooney nips, right? You know?
Yeah, he likes all them colors, and his shit looks like Las Vegas.
Yeah, like, but blue and orange is like the normal like color scheme now for a lot of films. It's like oddly, like you won't notice it until you start watching that, like how much people are in like this color scheme, you know, like so many. Well, but
it's subtle, but Schumacher was like, nah, we ain't gonna be subtle.
even though it's after dark, I can still have golden hour lighting whenever I want, just by the touch of a Stream Deck button. It's pretty sweet. I wish hue lights weren't as expensive. That's what I wish, was that, because they are pretty pricey for some reason, for some LEDs and a brand name, but they're pretty great otherwise.
Unless you got if you got a Big Lots near you or a Lot Less, they've got LED strips on the cheap. If you're looking for a cheap way to light it up, or for the holidays are coming and that trailer ain't gonna decorate itself, ladies.
We should do some like I would love to do stoner Christmas recommendations for people. Those are always fun. Right? And there's some good, like most people have no idea what's out there anymore. I'll pull up some good stuff at the end of the show today and you'll be like, yeah, I want that and that as well, please. You know, but my rig is, I love my rig. I've got the what is it? I think it's done by Atmos. Do you recognize that brand name for vaporizers? It's like the Air Riser Q, something like that.
You're talking science, man.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like for your bong there?
Yeah, like it's a vaporizer, desktop vaporizer. It's like the cheap one. It's like the cheap desktop vaporizer or whatever. I can also put like bags in it, like the Volcano, and like fill those up, you know.
The Volcano, Jesus.
Yeah. It rips. Like like the bags are so like, they're just always ridiculous. It's like the gravity bong version of vaporizing. It's because you can just take the bag and just go whoosh, you can just shove just the whole bag in your face, and you're like, yep, that's how we get smoke in our lugs. Like, even though it's not smoke, kids, it's vapor. Ooh, vapor. Wait, I pretty much switched to only vapor at this point now with the desktop vape over here, and I've got the bong on an arm so I don't knock it over, you know. I'll put up bong
That's the
cam
most
at the
healthy way
20
to
minute
do it.
mark. It really is, like, you know,
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where um like people forget how much like smoke they intake, you know. Like once you give them a good vapor with like good clean water, and like eventually I'll get a better bong than this that like will fit in this rig, right? I want like ice catcher and like, you know, double perk and all that fun stuff. But I did see one today that I thought like that might work real well. It was like it was pretty sweet. But I do have treats to show you. I always have
Oh,
visual
sweet.
treats because I know weed makes people just ADHD like myself pretty much. So it works for me that I can just pull stuff up and do stuff. So let me switch over to our presentation, right? Which I think is this one. There we go. Look at that. Right? So I know you come from similar necks of the wood that I do, right? So I pulled this for you, right? Let's see if I can get
Oh
it
boy.
full screen here. There we go. Right? And we'll back it up. You know? And you have my audio, I think. Should do. Yeah. More time. No! My mudbug brethren! How have you been so forsaken? Like, I love this. Just
My
because,
boiled and seasoned to deliciousness, brethren. I thought they were always red. I didn't know. Gray. What's that? Man, sometimes you don't need to know how the sausage is made. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, hopefully, like you gotta clean those things, and then you gotta. I mean, that was like what, maybe like, I know my people would definitely have been through that bit of crawfish in like 2 seconds, you know.
Yeah, that was a bowl. Yeah, that's yeah.
So
Pinch the head. Was it suck the head, pinch the tail?
yeah, pinch the tail,
And
suck
then,
the head. I mean,
suck the head.
I love New Orleans like slang in that way, right? Like spell Chapatulas, you know, like in chat, Fanto, Colin, spell Chapatulas and don't Google it. I don't even think they'd get it with Google, you know, like they're gonna start out like they're gonna start out with the old C and they're gonna be wrong, you know. So, but
that's
we used to have,
that's like Chutica buff over in near
Yep.
Escatawpa.
Chutica
That
buff.
thing has about 20 letters that it's like Chutica buffa because it ends in an A. I know that. It begins with a T.
Right.
Is it TCH?
Yeah, it's TCHOUL. It's one of those old native words that we stole. So, you know.
Right.
What
like
I do
canal.
like you'll be just as like triggered as I was. I used to I went to high school and like middle school in a place called Live Oak, Florida, colloquially known as Dead Oak, because there was nothing ever to do there but die.
Right.
That's pretty much what people did. It was actually gorgeous, like a bunch of springs and stuff. Like they used to have old resorts there and stuff before they like closed them all down. Like that was like back in like there's a famous story of Live Oak about, you know, one of the most famous people from there went and was involved with the Lincoln assassination / kidnapping, and he was the one that was supposed to go get what is it, Secretary of State or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And like
I think so.
The guy that like, so this guy was mentally challenged from all accounts, right? From Live Oak, and he went to go take care of like, I forget who it was. I want to say like Buckley, but that's not it. But they like they had it to where, so he was supposed to, the Secretary of State had a like what do they call those things, man? A buggy carriage with horses, right? One of those horse cars.
Yeah, carriage.
Yeah. So like
horse car. Yeah,
he had been in one of those
Pinto.
Yeah, he had been in one of those carriage accidents, right? And he had like classic like neck brace like on, right? Like I didn't even know they had neck braces back then, but apparently they did. And this guy was gonna go.
You mean like the big like collar looking things?
Yeah,
like the puffy looking.
Like when you're trying to get
trying
to get sympathy in court, you know, one of those ones.
Right.
Right. But anyway, the guy like goes in, and I think he murders like 2 people in the house, and then like goes to slit this guy's throat, right? And he's wearing the neck brace, and so it doesn't happen that way. And the guy proceeds to beat the intruder out of his house and into the street with his cane, right? And anyway, so that they got involved, and they asked this guy's mother, the would-be assassin, right? They asked his mother what she's gonna do now after all this assassination stuff is over, after they, you know, the U.S. like Treasury Department dealt with it, right? She asked, well, I'm tired of the big city life of Live Oak, right? So I'm moving to this little, you know, very small town called Orlando, and that's where I'm heading. And anyway, I love that like now Live Oak is like maybe 4 stop signs and a roundabout, and Orlando is massive.
And Orlando is
yeah. So like we had the guy who, you know, it's where the Swanee River is, right? So, you know that old racist song, Down Upon the Swanee River. It's all written in like not even what's Ebonics, isn't that before? Like it's terrible. Like I've been to that guy's museum, and it's not great. But anyway, like so they had all these like it's big spring-fed wash basin there, right? We're a big sponge here in Florida, right? So they had these like they used to have these resorts there that were like everyone would go to. So like presidents came, and like celebrities of the time were there, because they were like the healing waters of the aquifer of Florida. You know, come find the fountain of youth here. And you know, old people would go jump naked into a, you know, spring-fed pool that stayed at, you know, 69 degrees. So
oh yeah,
dude, it's the
69
best.
degrees.
Woo. So like we used to have this spot there that was like my smoking spot, and it's literally my happy place in my head. I literally still remember the layout, and like, you know, I use it in meditation all the time, right? But it was literally like, I want you to imagine one of those resorts back then, and they were made from like Florida limestone, big blocks. Like it looks like when you go there and like one's like torn down, and like it looks like Roman ruins, like you just got dropped into some fantasy like forest. Like there was literally like this place had, what they would do is they'd wall off the springs so that the spring would fill up with water, and then they would put like a little waterfall and let the water flow out, right? So, you know, we found this place that had a spring, and like half the wall had kind of collapsed, right? And like had this like table in the middle of it, right? And then it was like stone all the way around pretty much, right? And you know, we went out there, and like people had left at like beer can, like someone had a kegger out there, and we went and like, fuck dude, this sucks, you know, let's clean all this up and whatever. So like we didn't even know it was like a national park, right? And you know, the guy that's supposed to like the what do they call those, the guy with the big hat, you know,
the park ranger.
Yeah, like the park ranger showed up and was like, you know, I appreciate y'all clean it up, y'all can come out here anytime. And I was like, oh well, thanks man, you know. And like like as long as I know it's y'all are okay. And I was like, okay, you know. And anyway, we went out there and like we cleaned it up, and we started doing stuff like it had this old stone thing. So one of my buddies brought out like his grinding wheel from like work, and like ground in like a fire pit, right? And we had like,
Shit.
we like, it had like big giant stones to like sit on, and there was like a table. It was literally like a waterfall underneath you out into the river, right? And like we started
Nice.
we got like we found like all the rocks in the area and just started building like raft up to like have the water level come up. And then like one of my buddies cleaned out like the spring and stuff, and we had like, it was like a fucking spot, man. Bring the ladies out there, and like it's gorgeous stuff. But like there
And
was
you had a lot of
nothing to do
privacy
there.
too, right? There wasn't
Yeah,
there
it
wasn't
was like
anybody
forest.
around, right?
You had to like go back into a trail and like go in. And dude, in springtime, it was like magic. It was like jasmine fucking flowers everywhere, and like they had bamboo and stuff there. So a lot of like my first bongs, like I just literally went and cut like these big sections of bamboo and cut them out. But which leads me to some of my first questions with you is like, so when did you start like smoking weed? Like what do you remember?
I was kind of, yeah, I was a late bloomer, because Nancy Reagan scared the hell out of me when I was a little kid.
Right.
And drugs were the devil, man. And then I got to college. Well, I got to college. I started working at this TV station with these guys, and I was over at their house, and we were watching Mr. Show with Bob and David.
Yeah.
And they kind of look around at one another, and they said, "Hey, man, you want to smoke?" I said, "All right, I trust you guys." And I thought they were going to pull out like a little like joint or something.
Right.
So they pull out this bong. It's about yay big. So, I'm a greenhorn. I'd been, I didn't know I was kind of an off and on cigarette smoker, but I hadn't started smoking cigarettes yet.
Gotcha.
So I hadn't smoked anything. And so they fill this fucker up, and it was, oh man, with the B girl, Blind Melon, right? So Blind Melon is actually, a lot of the members are from North Mississippi, and these guys that I worked with, they knew those guys, and so that was one of their Blind Melon's bongs. So the first time I got high was from a Blind Melon bong.
Nice.
And I got sick. I didn't like it.
Ooh.
I didn't like it at all.
I was
like, oh, this is
throw
nasty.
it from the smoke or from the weed? Like,
I didn't throw up, but I was nauseous. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And because first time I've ever been stoned, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know what was going on in my head. But the second time I smoked, same.
Oh. Hopefully his internet figures itself out.
I'm pretty sure it will.
So
I start smoking it, and then I'm like, oh, that's when I started like, now your body got,
right,
cold cocked the first time. You weren't ready for it, but now your body's like, oh, okay, I remember this stuff. Now this is how we're gonna process it, and it was great. And I looked down, I start laughing because I couldn't feel my feet, and I said, dude, my feet are. The fuck are my feet? We're like,
where are my feet, man.
What? And then we just and then that was it. That's the love affair was born. Yeah, that was great. But I've heard that before. Like some people, the first time they smoke, they don't like it, and but the second time they smoke, then it's like bombs away. You know what I mean?
Like, so
what about you? Were you?
Oh man,
I mean.
So
did you get high off the first time you smoked? Was it a good experience?
So I'll explain, because mine's definitely weird. Like, so mine, I didn't start with weed. I started with, do you remember what K2 was? Do you remember that name?
Oh yeah, I think they used to
was,
sell it at the bodegas here.
Yep, and it was like or Spice, as it was also known as, right? They got to sell.
Yeah, it's like synthetic weed.
Synthetic weed, and then they made it illegal because they realized it fucked people up. And luckily, I didn't smoke it for long enough to like have that happen. But like, you know, my sister was trying to like work at Walmart and they were testing, right? And like, she was just like, well, we're going to do this. And like, you know, I think I was around maybe 12, 13, right? Maybe around closer to 16 even, right? Like I was like just coming into high school pretty much. Like maybe might even been like sophomore year, right? But anyway, it wasn't until like I you know, started hanging out with other kids and like, you know, there was this little goth girl that was just like, hey, you want to, you know, go smoke weed in my car? And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. You know, real stuff. And she was like, yeah. And like, she brings out this like Sherlock Holmes, like skull, ivory, like exactly what like goth girl would have, you know, like she's going to put on the cure. And like, this is what she just broods over, you know. Yes, life sucks. Like, you know, just
solving mysteries,
right? Literally. And like, and I didn't really feel that the first time. Like, I just don't think I like, you know, I did not inhale enough. But like, I was definitely like after that, it was pretty much like I want real stuff. And like, you know, found a connect. Like a Live Oak was great because there's like 3 interstates that like link up like right there. So like drug traffic is very available. You know, you knock on the window of the McDonald's and you go, hey, anyone have weed? And they go, yeah. Meet back at 6. You know, like, okay,
blunt in the car.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
well,
like,
that's the thing. Like out in the country, like small towns and stuff like that, they always know how to get weed because it's so easy to move it through there because there's no cops through there. And if there are, they're probably on the take.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you can get away with some shit, you know, you kind of have to do some weird shit to go get it and stuff. But you know,
I mean, that was the thing.
Maybe they stopped by.
What was the what was your first pipe, like the one you owned? Like, or did you make one at first? Because that's what I had to do. I had to like make my own stuff first, you know?
Well, yeah, I think I got a corn cob pipe.
Okay. He'll come back. There he is.
Not long after that, I made a bong. And it was basically I'd went to like this dollar store and bought like a vase.
Yeah.
And got a rubber stopper for the top, right?
Right.
And drilled a couple of holes because I called it the lover's bong because it had 2 tubes coming out for you and a friend or a lover. Right. And then the vase kind of did one of these things, and then and on this angle I was able to, you know, carve out like a hole and then put the pipe stem in there.
Right.
And this thing was like this tall. So, you know, you was talking about the volcano a while ago and the gravity bong shit. This was like I would fill it up halfway with ice and water. And the other half of it, so you still had this reservoir of empty space for smoke to put in there, right? So you're doing the thing. Holy fucking shit. That if you wanted to get stoned quick,
that was
go hit the flower pot. That was the thing. If people would come up, like, you know, Mr. Show and like Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, Aqua Teen, Hunger Force, that shit, like the early Adult Swim shit. With Space Ghost, Coast to Coast.
Space Ghost, Coast to Coast.
Watch that high. That's fun. C Lab 2021.
Oh, just
like, oh man, Harvey Birdman. Oh my god. So we're just like baked as a cake and watching this shit, just like, and I like if we were at my place, this was all in North Mississippi, by the way. So if we were at my place, I had 2 cats, and I had this one cat, Leroy, and you could cradle her like a baby. I named him Leroy and Skillet after these 2 cats.
Come on. The Russians
scratch it
keep
right in the
stealing your
middle of the
internet.
back. They keep stealing my internet.
The Russians keep stealing your internet, bro.
I'm froze up. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay. So I'm gonna reset my thing in a second.
Okay.
So you'll have to stall, but I'll be back. Yeah. Anyway, so the cat, when you did that, you scratched him in the middle of the back, he would lick your nose because she was close enough right there.
Right.
And you get stoned and you watch TV for 20 minutes, you sit there scratching their back for 20 minutes, and she just lick. And then finally I said, oh shit, and I set her down and she ran to the water thing. It was like, blah, 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 blah. Like she'd been licking my nose for 20 minutes.
Nice.
Pretty baked. It was pretty baked.
I think your internet sorted itself, hopefully. But
yeah, I don't know what it was. I reset it at 6 o'clock too. It's weird. I don't know. I think it's around this time.
Yeah. Where you're
traffic.
You're but my first ones were like I said, those bamboo ones, and then we made we had that spring out there, right? Literally like spring fed water, like what's in like bottles, although it smelled like sulfur. What are you gonna do? But we took like a Rubbermaid container, right? And then we took it and like pushed it, like we had like foam, like pool noodles that we put on like the edges of the Rubbermaid container, like turned it upside down, right? So that you could like push it down and then it would slowly like come up for you, right? And like it was actually nice to have resistance on that, so you didn't just go like whoop, right? Like, and essentially like we took I was a band nerd. I don't even have it out anymore, but one of my buddies played tuba and he had like an extra tuba mouthpiece, and we just like shoved that in the top, right? And then like we had like 4 hoses, like hookah hoses from like someone's broken hookah that we like shoved into the sides, and that was like our party piece, and like you'd push it down, and then like you'd let it go, and then you just slowly start putting like rocks on it so that it would just like push air down, and it was great. It was like big giant tuba mouthpiece, someone would light it, the whole thing would fill with smoke, and you just like push it. But that was like, I was done with gravity pieces after that. Like never again do I need to have that, like, and everyone tries to show you like, like, oh, have you ever seen a gravity bong? Like, yes, I have also died before on weed. Like, yes, yeah.
Like, they say that weed can't kill you, but a gravity bong kill you. It brings you close to the brink of death.
It's real bad. Like, it's like even you've coughed for like 30-40 minutes, like, and you're just done. You're like, nope, I'm good, thank you. Like,
and that's going through that spring water too. Can you imagine if you just had some dank ass bong water up in there and you're like,
yeah,
just, like smoking out of a cave.
I have
the cave is the actual bong.
I have to look up a video that I didn't have prepped. Because
it's cool. I get to see the inner workings.
Yes, you do.
It's nice.
So this is. So did you know that dolphins get high? Right?
No way.
Yeah. So dolphins are one of the other mammals that get high. There's a couple of things that get high, right? But dolphins are one of them.
Off the coast of South Africa, more adolescents have reached that difficult age.
What they do, right, is
but they don't hurt them, right? They don't eat them.
No, they literally don't.
They just throw them around.
They just throw them around, like.
But something far more extraordinary seems to be happening.
When
Dolphins
attacked,
getting fucked
pufferfish
up.
release a neurotoxin. In high doses, it can kill, but in small doses, it has a narcotic effect.
Yeah.
That's somebody
Yeah.
watching this video.
It's
I
He
know,
gonna be
right?
like, yo man, yo give me a puff of fish.
I wouldn't try this one at home for sure.
I'm gonna smoke this puff of fish. Hey, bro.
He's fucked up.
Ah. Ah! Fucked up mammals in the water.
Let's see if I can find the other one that I remember. Right? So these are lemurs, right? And they take a centipede, right?
I'm out.
Yeah, lemurs are gonna
Yeah,
get
it's
that
already
thing.
fucked up. Nope. Oh shit! He treat that shit
The
like
millipedes
Twizzlers.
use dangerous
Oh.
secretions, including cyanide, as a defense.
Oh wait, they're not
No.
biting him though.
No.
It doesn't look like they're just
But the lemurs
sucking him
still
off.
chew.
Oh yeah,
Albeit
get that
extremely
sweet fix,
cautious.
baby. First one's free. Next one you gotta pay for.
The toxins.
Yeah, apparently it makes you, you know.
I know, right?
You gotta chew it a little, dude. Just, you know, but it's like wiggling around, like, you know.
He probably thought it was a Twizzler, and he goes, "Oh, wait a minute. What is this fresh hell?"
Funny
That's funny.
stuff. But I do have
Jesus.
just a teaser of boats crashing into other boats, like, you know.
Oh, nice.
Some dad additions, right?
That's from that other show you're on, right?
Yes. How
How
did
did
we miss that?
this?
On Indie Left News, Saturdays, midnight Eastern. Everyone should go find that. I'm sure someone
right.
who's watching will put that link in chat for us. But
What's up, Blue Moon Red Wine?
yep, Blue Moon's here. I saw Fanto here. Invalid is over there on the Twitch, I think. So good
Oh wow,
stuff.
you're all over the place.
Yeah, Indy let me use all his things, so super grateful for him doing that. But we got
that's cool.
We got another bicycle. I know how much you like bicycle things, right? And do a little bunny hop. Oh, just went right, like the tire grabbed the kid and like, and he just
how did he do it? Because the guy
he just like pedals.
Oh, because he moved forward a little bit, and then the kid, like conveyor belt,
conveyor belts his way into that. I love that. So
ouch.
I saw a bunch of people, including some of our friends, talking about Facebook and the new VR stuff and all that. I definitely suggest if anyone does get one to not get Oculus, because, you know, Zuckerberg owns that. But I have a Vive, which is Steam's version, you know. But there are other dangers to VR, not just them sucking the life out of you, right? So here's a dad. He's playing a cool boxing game on the VR. He's throwing it. Oh, bops. Poor kid. Just with the left hook right to the, like, dude,
child services.
Yep.
Yeah, man. That kid's like, he's all into it too, right? Until it gets too real.
Yeah, until it gets to, he's like, yeah, it's super excited, Dad. I want to do it. I want to do it. And then right in the noggin. Like, but we've got, how do I back up? There we go. Just a little bit of karma for everyone. Make sure we don't be dicks at parties. Just be cool. Just be cool. Don't try to kick people's chair out. I love how he's just, you know.
That's the Wile E. Coyote shit.
I
Look
know,
at the chair
right?
leg, and the chair doesn't move
perfect.
at all.
Yep.
The chair doesn't move at all, and then he ends up on his face.
Yep.
That is funny.
It's great. It's great.
Meep meep.
So we got We got another little dad zone one. I thought this one was funny. This is Halloween stuff, but
Those are dead
Puppy.
puppies.
Those are dead puppies. Ah!
Oh shit, they are.
Yeah, they're like little dead skelly
That kid
puppies.
wasn't freaked out at all.
Those are dead puppies.
That kid was smiling, man. That's a little sociopath in training right there.
Yep. That's how you raise
Kid's
those.
gonna go home.
I do like the classic, like, I've got 2 balls. I can't have just one. I have to have 2. You know? Both hands must be occupied.
He's ready to, right. like he's gonna throw one at
Throw
somebody
one
and
at
then
somebody.
keep the other
Yep.
one. So
Yep. Just extra
probably
ammo.
the dead dogs over there.
But to get back
Why
onto
you got
our
dead dogs there.
they smoke reefer near their children? The generation that smoked cigarettes at restaurants, like, you know. I thought that one was great. This is from our
Oh
trees.
yeah, man.
Let's see if our trees has anything for us.
My parents smoked. They didn't even, they said, fuck, I ain't going outside. This is my house. Puff, 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 puff. Everybody's gonna get some lung disease on me.
This is what 25 cents gets you in Moscow, apparently.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit. How big's that paper?
I don't know. It's probably metric papers.
For 25 cents? Oh, that's $25, man.
Yeah. This is one of the
That was
classic
25
subreddits.
cents.
Home of the Ints. Switzerland removes its marijuana ban, proceeds with the cannabis legalization framework. Good for Switzerland.
Nice.
I probably have to
What
mute
the
that.
fuck?
It's a dab. But it's like super alien dab. Nice. Some people just put their like
Smoke.
some people just put their smoke spots in here.
Here at Special K Glass, every piece
Special K glass. Let's skip a little forward. Yeah, there we go.
I had a buddy out in LA. He had one of them old, he like had one of the first vaporizers. Like
Yeah.
it was one of those wood box deals.
Yes.
And it had the temperature knob on the front, and if it was nice, it had like an LED readout to tell you how hot it was. And I had never had vaporized before. This is the first time, and I go over to this place, and I'm like, and I'm used to smoke, right? And smoke has like a thickness to it as it goes in your lungs, so it's like, you know, smoke is going in there. And this was like the vapor, I was thrown off by it, so I kept and then like after about the 7th hit, I was like,
oh yeah, you just took, well, you get like ghost hits with vapor, right? Like you're still getting THC, but you don't really get visible clouds yet until, anyway, this is one of the first ones that exist. I have one of these. These are the Magic Flight launch boxes. They usually just you put a little battery in there. Like it just takes like a normal rechargeable AA. You just got to take like the foil off on the outside, right? But they have one of my favorites is they have one for concentrates, right? And let's see if they still call it what they called it. They might have had to rename it recently, but this was the, let's go with the one I actually would want, which is that one, right? So it's just got like a little tray for you to put like your little dab in there, right? And you shove your battery into that side, right? And then you just, you know, it's got like a little hose that you can put into a bong or whatever, right? But this one,
sweet.
They called it the MD because they recently had to change the name. It used to be called the Muad'Dib, which I was super fan of that. But Muad'Dib?
The Muad'Dib.
Muad'Dib. Yep. Who knew my name would be a death word? But
He said, "You smoke that shit, you end up riding sandworms."
Sandworms. Yep. Yep.
You be smoking with the sandworm. The sandworm be like, "Woo! I want some of that vapor too, kid."
Right.
Oh, it makes me warm at Christmas.
20 science. So these guys are some of my favorite on YouTube. They just do like reviews of new smoke stuff and whatever. But they had a whole thing for everyone who drops all their bongs, right? They had the indestructible bongs, right? And they have this one, the metal one over here on the right, is vacuum insulated. So it's like a bong thermos, right?
Oh, wow.
So like you can put ice and water in there, and it's like it's actually got glass on the inside, so it's like enamel coated on the inside, so it doesn't taste like metal, right? And then they have like you throw a glass bowl, or you can get like a indestructible, makes like a downstem and pipe that's like aluminum, like sheathed essentially. You could have a completely like indestructible, vacuum insulated, you know. So
I'm wondering how does it so you could take the stem out, and then there's like a little plug you can put in there.
Yeah, there's like a little rubber grommet in there that they have that you push through, but it unscrews so you can easily clean it and or drink the bottom water, whichever you prefer to do. But but yeah,
hot water hot for like 12 hours and cold water cold. I bet you it's probably that same technology.
Pretty much. Yeah. So yeah, super cool stuff. You know, definitely suggest going over to 420 Science. Their stuff's pretty great. You get to learn all sorts of stuff and find cool deals, stuff like that. But what else do I got? I got this dropped last night, and I know the internet loves to react to this band's stuff. And plenty of them do it while high. So I figured that it was fitting, right? I just have to be careful with DMCA. So I probably had to pause it every like,
wait a minute,
what do you think? 30 seconds, you know? And we'll do some reaction to it. But
okay.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's like for so long, music has been driven by like production software, you know, and like production tricks and like getting your DAW to do what you want and laying it all out on the grid and, you know, all that stuff. So like, it's nice for them to go back and find Barry Gordy's old, you know, arrangement rules and like put something together. And this is now, so they got named by Bootsy Collins, right? So like Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak came together and started doing stuff and then sent some things out to people, and Bootsy Collins came back like, y'all should be called Silk Sonic. And like they were like, yeah, of course that's what we're called. We're definitely taking Bootsy Collins' name for us and running with that, because that's a whole thing. But they came out with Leave the Door Open, which is like their, you know, date night, turn on, lights down low, right? Then they did Skate to Me Baby, which is like, it's literally like a song they made for like roller discos, you know? And then this one, which came out last night. But yeah, like they switched to like, this is actual musicality and arrangement. And like, you know, someone has to play something, you know? Like, that's what's great.
And it's great music too. It's I mean, like I said, like from back in the days, like we were talking about Barry White earlier, and you know, people like Lou Rawls and shit like that were putting stuff out like this back in the days.
I mean, this is like Smokey Robinson and like, you know, this is right out of Motown, right out of Detroit. Like, you know, I mean, I know there's other places, but it definitely like, it seems like a classic. Like it's such a smart
It's
move
like that
to
late
just, like,
60s, early
Yeah.
70s vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that music's rated PG
Yes.
for
yes.
getting
For parental
getting
guidance. Yeah, making the parents.
yeah,
Yep.
that's that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I love the whole, like, if you listen to the lyrics, it's all just like, yeah, we spent $150,000 at Tiffany's, right? You've got diamonds on your
Right.
wrist, diamonds on your neck, but I'm still alone. Like, you're not here. Like, you know, I'm paying all this shit and I don't even get to, like, spend time with you. It's dumb, right? Like, I love, you gotta be smoking out the fucking window. The whole feel for this, like, whole song is so good. Like, but I love the shotgun mics, the 70s shotgun mics. Like, we're about to host, like,
Right.
Price is Right, you know. Come on down. Like, I love every bit of it. The giant, like, star backgrounds, you know, those giant lapel. Who makes a lapel that big? Who does that? You know? Like, why
It
did
looks
people
like it's
think
silk
that was
too.
Oh yeah, definitely silk lined. But is that velour on the outside?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like,
Maybe.
also, shout out to the drummer who's having to play with all these lights and a velour, like, suit, you know? Like,
Yeah, but
that's,
he's wearing blue blockers. Look at those things, man. He's wearing
I
like
know, right?
he's wearing like those glasses those people in that miniseries V wore. Like, you know, they
Yeah.
had, like, that's a little random. Sorry.
No,
But
you're
yeah,
good.
I mean, look how big them glasses are. Those like Jim Jones glasses.
Crazy.
Jim Jones in the house.
These are like the Elton John, shades, you know?
Yeah.
Big round,
All over the place.
all over the place. Like,
Cancer.
yeah. It's vapor.
There's
Everyone is
cancer
vapor.
all over the place.
Like, I do, like, why would they chose cigarettes? Like, you know,
Smoking out the window.
So-
I guess maybe
Yeah.
it's not quite time to have joints yet. I don't know.
oh,
On
did
stage.
we did get DMCA live, huh? Is it still going?
Oh, really?
Yeah, we must have. I must have not paused it soon enough.
It's still
What the
going
hell?
over here.
Maybe it was on Indies. Yep.
Oh, one of them got dinged.
Yeah, I mean, how does everyone else do these reaction videos on this? If, you know. So. But.
I don't know. They're probably. I don't get that either. It's because you plainly put on there. It's like, look, this is like
Reaction,
news type
yeah.
stuff. You know, reaction to it. It's not like
Yeah.
bunch of assholes.
Yep. Which now I gotta see. We were almost done anyway. So. But we'll replace
Wow.
it in the thing. I didn't even think we'd air it as a video, so. Other than, like, as a reaction. But yeah.
I liked Uptown Funk. I'm not gonna lie. I liked Uptown Funk. I when that first came out, I was like, oh, you have a little bit of Jungle Love
Yeah.
by Morris Day and the Time. Jungle Love. Ah, oh. It kind of had that same beat to it. I was like, yeah, that's nice. So my girlfriend
Yeah.
gives me hell for it though. She's like, oh, you like Bruno Mars? So yeah, goth chick. You always dreaming of, like, you know, darkness and death. I tell you, we went to go see oh fuck. I can't remember his name. He was he's like one of these emo singers from way back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went to go see him at Morrissey. That's who it was.
Right. Like,
Oh
watch.
no, wait, did we go? We didn't. She wanted to go see Morrissey, and I was like, no thanks. But we saw Depeche Mode. That was pretty cool.
Like,
But we don't usually like to go see like the big ticket shit anymore.
look how many reacts to, like, you smoking out the window. Reacts, like, you know, look how many reacts there are, but yet ours get pulled. How does that work?
I know it just came out yesterday, right? Last night.
You would think, did it
Or
just have
today.
the video like too big or something? Like, you know?
I don't know. YouTube is whack as hell, man. I don't know what's going on with them, man.
Yeah, I don't know. But what's funny is like I think my stream's still up. So
It is. I'm looking at it right
live,
now.
huh?
Oh,
Yep.
fuck.
That's me. But
That's because yours is night.
okay, we're back. I think it just pulled our audio, huh? Must have done. So
I don't know.
but yeah, like how do you this is what I don't understand about like YouTube stuff, because like I'm looking perfectly like at like how many reacts, like, you know, of like pretty much every version of that band stuff, right? And like all of them have the video in the thing. Like our stuff's not bigger than this video, like as far as like the size of the video. So, and they managed
You think
to have
they
the
got
audio in.
you think they got copyright warnings where it's like they could still play it, but they wouldn't get any money from it?
Maybe, like, which is fine. Like Bruno Mars has got plenty of money. I'm sure he can use some more from us. Like,
Right.
you know, Bruno, if you want to come on the show and smoke weed and talk about music, you're welcome to. But like, yeah. But whatever, I thought it'd be all right.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be risky.
Well, that happened to
all right.
That happened to Roar Media too when they were doing their Halloween show the other night. They got like pulled off the air.
Sometimes like news stuff will get pulled. Like you'll have like you'll have something from like CNN or whatever, and like you're playing it and it's obviously fair use. You're not like, and they're saying that you're stealing their stuff, and it's like that. How are you supposed to react to anything or like, you know, whatever? It makes no sense to me. Like,
yeah.
So, but whatever.
I guess I don't know how that works. I thought it was fair use, right? Because
you would think, right? I'm pausing it every 30 seconds. We're talking over it, you know?
Right.
Like, so, but yeah, I just thought it was, you know, smoking out the window would go well. But anyway, so yeah, what's your favorite, sativa or indica? What's your preference?
It really depends. I like sativa in the mornings for a little wake and bake, and if I haven't been sleeping too well, I'll do in the evenings. But right now, all I've had access to is the indicas, because my person doesn't have the sativas, and I'm too lazy to go look for it elsewhere. So you make do. But sativa in the morning, indica at night, everything will be all right. You know,
how's New York for like availability? It seems like it would be. I mean, what didn't you guys just legalize or decriminalize?
Yeah, it's I think it's legal in the city, in New York City. It may be throughout the state. I'm not sure. No, I think it might be state, because they were talking about how the legislature has been dragging its feet. They got to make like committees and stuff it's like they got to do a lot of bureaucratic bullshit. But yeah, they passed it, and people are just waiting to start opening dispensaries and shit like that. As far as like getting it now, I mean, you know, everybody's got a guy, you know, or a person of various binaries or non-binaries that have access to selling you pot. So don't matter what you got, they got something for you. But I knew my guy I met, he actually worked at this place next to where I was working, and you know, and you know how it is. You just like, you make jokes or something to kind of feel somebody out, see if they're cool or not. It's a lot easier to do now because people aren't as uptight. But back then, you know, even like maybe 10 years ago, you know, you're kind of like, hey, are you cool? You know, you cool?
Right. You just try to find that smelly smell, you know? Just, you see all that. That's what I love is when you do see that smelly smell, and then you look at all the other just, you know, like a predator who sniffs some prey, like, just, you know, like, oh, what's that? That smells familiar. Like, you know.
Well, I tell you this, growing up down south, when you're used to smoking that Alabama ditchweed bullshit, and then we moved out to LA and we were smoking that shit. It was just like, you know, you just went from leaded to you know, ultra premium gasoline right there.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So didn't take much to
see, I just got to the point
where you
where
needed
like
to be.
my weed has names, you know? Like, you know, before it was just Dro mids or like whatever the dealer had at the bottom of the bag, you know? And now it's like, you know, Maui Wowie and Mimberberry, and like I think I'm doing Dutch Hawaiian right now. It's a nice sativa. So but
I always have to tell my guy, I said, look, man, if you score me some sativa, that's cool. If not, at least try and get me a hybrid. You know, but I'll take what you got. And he usually throws out those names too, like, you know, like the Purple Urkel and the Thai stick and, you know, zebra ass and, you know, Rumpelstiltskin.
We're only doing vintage strains, like, you know,
Bill Bixby, and they just making up shit. I said, dude, you don't even, these names don't correspond with that. You're just making up names. Yeah. He's like, no, man, that's what they're called.
I was trying to remember at some point somebody was talking about and would ask like for Jimmy Dore to get his own strain, to have someone like make him one, and I still don't know what the best name for that would be. You know, I mean, I feel like, you know, like pothead comedian weed would you know, is probably not the best name, you know, like, but like grown in Jimmy's garage, like, you know. But if anyone has good ideas for that, send them my way. I'll take those. But no, I like, I don't know, I find it funny. It's just now, like, it's just now we've gotten to the point where it's much more acceptable, you know, like people aren't as weirded out if you've got paraphernalia or whatever. It's pretty nice, you know.
Yeah, so, even in the more conservative areas too, it's people are just like, I think a lot of conservatives, like, who vote conservative are at the point where they're like, you know what, it's weed, dude. Come on. Yeah, who cares? You know, but that's the layperson, though. You know, the average, like your average left leaner or right leaner or whatever, like dudes and ladies on the streets, you know, they're the ones that are like, just do the pot, man. We don't care. It's these uppers, you know, the people that are in charge of shit that are like, you know, nah, fam, we got pharma people that, you know, we got to keep happy, because it's like pharma and alcohol lobby and probably a few other people too. You know, it's all this lobby shit. You know, so it's
like,
that's,
well, now
we need state votes on these things, you know, just like Mississippi did. Mississippi got medical, but they screwed it up because Mississippi had lost a representative in the census. Like, I guess maybe this is 2010 or something. They never fixed the law, so the law told you that you had to have 5 write-ins from or voters from 5 different congressional districts, and there was only 4, so there was a loop. They have to change the law and shit. So but, and that's just for medical. The, man, if they had like legal, like recreational down there, all that fertile farmland, I want some right now.
That whole Bible Belt, I wish they just figure out that, you know, Moses didn't speak to God without burning a little bush, you know. So, you know, like, take me to heaven. I mean, that's when he talked to God, right? Was You know, what's that other one? You know, if a man lays with another man, he should be stoned. And I like that they're thinking about mood setting. You know, so
if you eat
know.
that shellfish, you should be stoned too, or get stoned and then eat the shellfish.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Yeah. But I just find it funny.
How long 40 days in the desert.
Do you think
40 days
federally it'll ever happen? Like, you know,
if enough states do it, yeah, they got to, right? I mean, it's gonna get like when you get like 50 states, if all the states voted for it, then it's like, dude,
with
all
how
the states
Biden
voted
looked,
for it, or
with how Biden looked at the, you know, that climate thing, I'm surprised he didn't legalize a little indica for himself. You know, like, and he does the whole like he looks at camera and then like, okay, it's not seeing me go to sleep now. Okay, cool. And then just like out, like he like looks dead at it. Like, you know, they're filming you, right? Like you got to stay awake, like do something, you know? Yeah. Like he looks right. And then it's the like classic, like I wasn't sleeping. What, you know, like it's how did, dude, that guy, I don't know how long before, like
it's like you're watching a really bad play.
Yeah.
And you can't get up and leave but you got to sit there and watch this bad play because the acting's horrible.
Terrible.
The storylines suck. Yeah. It's like, I don't know who's writing this shit, but it is not realistic at all. And people with a brain in their heads are like seeing right through this shit.
It's always like, you know, with it seems like he's gonna ask like, what's my line? Like just any second, you know, he's wondering. Yeah, like he's like, I need prompter. Like, fuck it, we'll do it live. I'll write it. We'll do it live. Like, did you see that Tucker was?
One time I was eating oysters and this Colin Powell called me Skippy, and I said, I ain't not Skippy, I'm the captain. And then we were in this boat together, and it was the 40s. And what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Luckily, the White House has enough tapioca to keep him fueled, you know? So
come on back, Joe.
Yeah.
Come on back, Joe, baby. Come here.
You like the tapioca, right,
gone
Joe?
out too far.
Tapioca. like it's just sad. Like, how does he not, like, could you imagine if he like just mandated, okay, we got legal weed now, cool, just like, you know, just wrote that off, would be so sweet, you know? But
I know, and a lot of shit would be forgiven too by a lot of stoners. They'd be like, you know, this motherfucker ain't giving us free health care. He's not giving us free college. Oh, he legalized weed. He ain't that bad.
Yeah, he ain't that bad.
You know, like, he ain't that bad.
It's just funny. Like, I'm wondering how long it will take for that to, like, how many states do we have legal now? I could do some Googling.
It's like in the 20s, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or close to the 20s.
Yeah.
Like low 20s, maybe.
18.
I'm going to say 22.
18? Yeah. So
that's like over a third.
Yeah.
Of the states. Yeah.
Yeah, we got.
So
I think Orange is fully here. I'll pull up well, you could see that, but
fully illegal.
This one. Yeah, so fully illegal. I don't know why they have like specification for that. Maybe it's like more illegal than
fully
normal.
Illegal.
That makes no sense. Someone definitely got high before making this graphic. I'll tell you that right now.
Do not.
But so CBD only in all the gray. Oh, maybe that's what it is, right? So it's like even CBD is not allowed in these states. So, but what we got decriminalized in Hawaii.
Well, wait a minute. Right.
Yeah. We got.
Yeah, there's Florida, Alabama, Mississippi.
This is all medical, and then like they don't have.
I think Alabama and Mississippi are medical too. Louisiana probably too.
Why is Colorado? This is like an old one, I guess, huh?
Why is Utah black? That
Yeah,
was
like shouldn't
what?
Colorado should be like green, right?
If anybody, yeah, it's like Colorado, Oregon.
Let's see if we just get like a better map here by hitting this. Well, yeah, like that's quite a bit of the states that like, you know, have stuff already legalized, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, what's left?
Well, I mean,
like,
if you get 7 more states and then you got half the states,
yeah,
I mean, you got half the country.
yeah,
It won't be long after that.
yeah. Here's one. Yeah, you got. This is the Insider. Here we go. No, I don't want to. No, I'm not even gonna read your thing
Looks
now,
like you're using
Insider.
an ad blocker.
Yeah, of course I am, Insider. Wouldn't you? Especially when the thing I want to see, I can just like open image in new tab and get around your thing anyway.
Suckers.
So yeah, we've got you know, I know DC's decriminalized, right? We've got Colorado recreational, everything in the dark greens recreational, right?
Jesus.
So, you know, Illinois, Michigan, Virginia, you know. So like this is not that long before, like, to me this is a big, like, if you were taking a big pie wedge, the amount of greens here would be pretty frequently like, you know, that's a big pie piece to cut out, you know? I mean,
Dude, if you move to Alaska,
yeah.
so you could buy weed in Alaska and the government pays you for living there. So it's like you could use that money to buy weed.
Yep.
Like
and
weed's
been kind of legal there for a while, right? Because they have the whole like tribal law situation, right? With the natives up there.
Cool.
That a lot of the natives
like
that's why they also have a problem with like, you know, alcohol smuggling, because some tribes don't allow that and some do. So, you know, but like, how are you gonna when are you gonna get the Mountie out to like come arrest the person like when he's in middle of nowheresville? So, you know, you gotta wait till they come back to camp before you like arrest them. So, but I mean, yeah, they've always had that to where it's like, yeah, some places were growing really good shit for a long time because one, they have more sunlight than most of the like major United States, so they get end up better weed. Like a lot of the, you know, I think Northern Lights and stuff goes well up there, and there's a few choice, like all the, you know, my cousins and stuff who lived over there are always like, dude, you gotta do Alaska weed, man. You know, because they're still in that like weeds only good in particular regions phase, you know, like,
right.
You know, it's not just like, hey, you know, you can find good strains like everywhere, right? You know, so, but yeah, like, I'm just wondering how far off we are to this. I'm wondering like whether I say we get in the streets over this nonsense too, when we do get in the streets. So, you know, it's just getting people who are high into the streets is difficult, you know.
I can't believe it's not legal in Texas.
Yeah, dude. Now that Rogan's there, that'll happen. You can't have Rogan there without them, like, you know, like how
mayor
is he
at some
his
point.
weed?
I bet you he does.
Oh yeah,
he's like, when he gets old enough and he's like tired of doing the podcast shit, he's gonna run for office or something. Like he's gonna in Texas. He ain't gonna do it anywhere else. But
he'll talk to that Republican in a, you know, Republican in the eye patch. Who's that one? Which one's the eye patch Republican?
Oh, right. Wasn't that the guy used to be like he was didn't he own like a military weapons company or something?
Like that.
Or,
I mean, it's either
like
that,
some army.
Isn't Matthew McConaughey?
Is that the BlackRock dude?
Yeah, I think so. Isn't McConaughey trying to like run down there too? Like,
that's right. He might be going against Beto O'Rourke. Right on.
Does Texas have legal weed? Well, with me, it's
I think he's fucking with Beto O'Rourke.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
He's probably not gonna run for governor, but he's like, You don't know if I am or not, but you know, here we go. I'm gonna fuck with your head, Beto.
Right.
You know, he probably just can't stand Beto O'Rourke for some reason, so he's just fucking with him.
Like,
Beto's like, oh, what
how
did
did that
I
guy
do?
what qualification did he have again to get like transportation or whatever? Like, did he at least play like, you know, Sim City like when he was younger? Like what? You know, like what was he doing? I the first game I thought of was not that, and then I had to realize that I'm talking to you, and I'm like, yeah, you're not gonna know anything. I'll go like something real early, like, you know, Sim City. That'll make sense.
You did well, Sim City, man. I don't like City Skylines.
Yeah, that's
Skylines.
That's the one I was gonna go with, was City Skylines. You ever seen?
I play City Skylines. I love that shit.
There's a guy I watch on YouTube who's an engineer, and he plays those games, and it's just the most, like, the stuff he pulls out of roads is just like, what is going on? Like, he's doing like stacked like roundabouts and like, you know, craziness. Like, you ever seen some of those like the Scandinavian like traffic and stuff like that, where they actually try to design a city the right way? It's like, I mean, compared to like New York, dude, driving in New York must be awful. Like,
yeah, it's pretty awful. In Manhattan, it is, especially around Brooklyn, probably as bad too. Yeah, it just, I mean, we got freeways, but you know, you get the BQE and then the FDR over in Manhattan, and then there's the West Side Highway, but you know, yeah, they're all garbage. They want you to be they want you to get on, and now they're gonna what is that, in that influx traffic tax or something? They're gonna start charging people for driving their cars here or some shit.
Yeah, like,
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I don't know.
But I've seen videos.
Go ahead.
I've seen videos of like these city planners playing City Skylines.
Yeah,
on there, dude. There's like, so you could get like almost an infinite number of like whatever roads there are. Like, they had Japanese roads. They had like you said, Austrian roads, shit like that.
You can add a bunch of mods to it and stuff like that. Like, make it do all sorts of stuff. And you know, that's one of those things.
Have you seen like some of that shit?
Mm-hmm.
Some of that shit is just like, it looks like they'll do like this close-up shit, and that's like in 4K and all this stuff, and just like this fucking, it looks real as shit, and you're like, where's that place? Oh, that's you know, Christmasville or some bullshit I made up. You're like, whoa, Christmasville.
Yeah, they're like,
yeah. So
you take you know, City Skyline, like when games have like, so it has what's called the Steam Workshop attached, right? So, you know, Steam, you know, owned by, who's Steam owned by now? I think Gaben still runs it. They make crazy money. They just had Dota 2 tournament, the international, where it's like the prize pool is like crazy amounts of money, like 8 million prize pool, like shared between like, you know, five people, you know, so something dumb like that, right? But anyway, a lot of games have Steam Workshop attached, where it just allows you easily to add assets into the game and stuff, and add mods and stuff. And Skylines has had that, right? So it's like people can just go into a list and just click all the things they want and have it go into their new game, right? And it'd be like, oh, I want what Pizza Huts looked like in, you know, 1989. I'll take that Pizza Hut, you know. And
yeah, so, there's like, it's like through the ages and all kinds of shit, man. You could probably make like,
I know Hardlands is starting to do that. They've been working on getting a gaming channel set up for them, and they have a Reacts channel as well.
Really?
That people should go check out too. That's making them called Chicago Reacts, which is what they're using to like fund their news program, right? So
really,
yeah, like it's already surpassed their HLM. Already surpassed that in subscribers. So it's an interest. It's literally like Kit and Kira and like all them over there, you know, and some others that are outside the Hardland stuff, right? But
right,
yeah, like it's already more subscribers than their normal channel, right? Now I don't know how much they have to deal with copyright and Reacts. But I think they've just been doing like YouTube videos pretty much. But yeah, like what's their subscriber count for that at now?
Yeah, like 52, almost 53,000.
Yeah, and I think I don't remember what Hardlands Media is at either. I can look that one up. You know, I saw Nightstar Productions, Jerry in chat. So he's over there on Chicago.
I love Jerry
with them. Yep. He was Kolchak for Halloween.
Yeah, did you check out that Halloween?
I did not. I missed it. I think I caught like the bottom end of it or whatever. But let me look at what Hardlands
thing was
Media.
good. It was. They got 39.6 thousand.
Yeah, so it's like already 20,000 more, and like it's been streaming for like maybe a year, not even, and it's already surpassed like, you know, surpassed that, which is just crazy, right? I mean, the suppression on their news stuff is just insane. I mean, they recently got, you know, they got a strike for something that YouTube said was a mistake, right?
Didn't he do the I think he did the Rogan and Sanjay Gupta interview. He just played that, and everybody's been playing all over the place.
Yeah,
I don't know,
which is on YouTube right now. I guarantee. Evil. You know, Rogan talked about this interesting enough when he switched to Spotify, right? He said one of the things that happened was all of his videos on his Clips channel started staying monetized, right? So when he left YouTube and wasn't putting his massive podcast on YouTube, which is where everyone was watching it, right? They couldn't get any ad revenue off Rogan. So when he left Spotify, they were like, well, any stuff off Rogan, we're going to try to like monetize, you know? So like they, you just suddenly that problem they didn't have any more problems after that, you know? So I find that interesting. I can't, from who I've talked to, everyone knows that YouTube is censoring, like just in general, right?
Yeah.
You know, between the whole adpocalypse and them trying to do one of the other parts of YouTube that you may not even be aware of that's censored is animation, right? So a lot of animation channels are getting censored because, you know, if it's not like kid content, like if it's not animation designed for kids, right, they feel like it's not, you know, like the guidelines are messed up, so they've been censoring all sorts of people just for animating, right? You know,
that's
things
so
like that.
Stupid.
Yeah, musicians for a long time have been also, just because if they play anything that sounds similar or whatever, you know, I'm surprised these React channels and like any of that stuff can do any of their crap either. So, you know, I always had to look for particular like stuff on Spotify.
How do they get away with that shit?
I don't know.
Is it because there might be a bigger channel or something?
Well, it's like the, you know, people who do like review UFC stuff and things like that have to either have like a clip that's super small. I think there's like a thing as far as like the size of it in the video, right? Also makes a difference. But I don't know. But I think their audio.
So you think maybe,
and it's like certain.
You think maybe tonight, like, that video you played, you think that might be if you had made it smaller?
Yeah, and probably paused it more.
Maybe they hadn't fucked with you or something. Did you say they were trying to fuck with one of the channels?
Yeah, a little bit. Like just because like anything that like I'll have DMCA stuff that'll say DMCA all over it, right? And like, you know, I make sure that on the front of the, you know, everything's getting artist and album and whatever. I have a plugin that puts all that in automatically into the video, right? Like hard baked.
I saw that.
You know, so that like I'm covered under that, making sure the artists are getting what they're doing, and you know, but like sometimes it'll pull stuff like if someone sampled something in that song that's been like, you know, that YouTube will find, like if it's for longer than a certain amount of time and YouTube's algorithm picks it up, you know. So but yeah, like it's so hard for like YouTube people to like even like, you can't walk into any like I couldn't walk into CVS right now with a phone streaming because, you know, they're going to be playing radio on the thing, you know? So I don't understand how that, like, how that operates. And obviously that's a holdover from like old radio and stuff. You have to have all the rights and whatever, you know? So
Yeah. I mean, that's when I worked in radio, we had to have the ASCAP. I think it was ASCAP license so that we could play all those songs. And even then we weren't licensed to use them in our local commercials, although we kind of fudged on that a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. I do a little too many. And my boss, he was a good friend of mine. He'd come in there. He go, we can't use that. Come on, man. we already used this last week. We got to do this thing. Come on, use that stock. Oh man, that stock is garbage, man. Like music beds now are a hell of a lot better. But this was like, you know, before like computers and shit were able to help you out with that shit and do it quickly. You know, so you were like, I don't play this garbage. This is like some elevator music shit. Come on, let me put some of this fucking REO Speedwagon on here, man. Let me put some of this Rush, man, from 2112, man. Let me put some of that shit on there. Go great in this car commercial, you know, shit like that. And but yeah, now it's just like you can't do that anymore. No.
Yeah,
I didn't even know people listen to radio for music anymore. That's not like, you know.
No.
Why?
My mother leaves it on NPR and it never changes, which is just the worst. I've never had NPR in my ear and just thought, these are some fucking idiots. What are these people doing? Like, you know, nice, polite Republicans. Like, you know, that's
NPR.
Yeah. I'll never understand that.
But I mean,
they're not public anymore, right? They're like, you know, private sponsors and stuff. So
I think so now. They've been.
I mean, them and PBS, right? Stop stealing
PBS
his internet.
now.
There it goes. You're back. You made it back.
I know. Is that me? Does that pop up on yours or does that pop up on mine?
Just
I don't know what's going on.
Not on mine, but
Oh, okay.
But no, it's just
because it
just
says
like
your
lose.
internet is.
Oh no, it doesn't pop on mine.
What's
on
going
mine,
on?
you just turn into like Robo-Man. You're like, bah, brr, 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 like, and then you're like, oh, and what I was saying was like, and then you'll come back,
and it kind of does that little speed up thing.
That's just
which is weird. It's like it's weird to be on that end of it, you know, where it's like you have no idea it's going on.
Eventually, we'll.
But when you're on the other.
Eventually we'll patch you into the satellite feed that we have and, you know, get you just direct line right into the mainframe, you know?
I'm actually on a satellite, so it's that's why my reception is so shitty.
That would make
I'm trying
sense.
to work on getting is it Elon Musk that's trying to do internet from satellites or something? Is it
which I thought was a good idea until Elon Musk put his name on it, and then I'm like, ooh, maybe not. Like, you know,
if somebody else does it, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
you don't want him anywhere near your internets.
Like, if it was a government-run municipal like satellite internet, I'd be like, yeah, sure, you know. But
like Chattanooga has that.
Yeah, I know Ron Placone's big municipal internet guy. So
he's trying to get that in Pasadena, isn't he?
Yeah, dude, that would be amazing if he got that. Good for him if he manages that. He needs some people to get in the streets for him about it, probably. So, but I'm sure that can happen. But yeah, I mean, it's just like you talk to like all my friends in Scandinavia are like, yes, I get to like 3 terabytes upload, and you know, it's just like, oh, I wish I had those speeds. You know, they just get that for free. Like, you know, they're like, I'm trying to remember what it was, because it was back when like GTA was like, I was like, yeah, you could download GTA in like a second. You know, like just done.
Zoop, yeah.
So, like, what's up, Steve?
Yeah.
Wolfbrand. We got Whatever Man in the chat.
Oh
Colin's
man,
here.
Jerry's here too.
Yep, Jerry's here.
Jerry.
Radical Left Agenda.
Radical leftist.
All the fam's
Nice.
here. Nice. I saw Bess was here.
What's up, fam?
Make sure to shout those people out. But,
Me and my robots.
Yeah, I do like that you have the Fred T. Sanford background going on, you know? Like I'm waiting for just like,
that's right. I'm about to,
you know,
let's see. I'm about to go get some of this Ripple.
Yep.
That's
Ripple.
in I think it's in either that one or over here. I can't remember where it is. But they're Ripple. Yeah, on the TV show, he had this. It was right next to the kitchen door. It was like this table, and it had like drawers and stuff on there. And he had the secret drawer on the side that he'd hit on the side, and that drawer would open. That's where he'd get out his bottle of Ripple. Delicious Ripple. And yeah, so anyway, yeah, next time I'm on your show, I'll have another 70s background. But I like this one. It's kind of comfy, you know, it's kind of a lived-in look, you know. But hopefully this doesn't give you any copyright strikes. But you know, there weren't any white people in Sanford, so it should be okay.
As long as you as long as you sing it perfectly, you know, the algorithm will pick it up. So, you know,
and I can do that. So I will not.
Like it also like there was an episode. It reminds me of the Richard Pryor show. There was an episode where he just had the Pips. You know, it was just the Pips without Gladys. You know, whoa, on that midnight train to Georgia. Like, you know, like, yeah, I love that. I was so happy with that. And I love how they even cut to like empty stage where like Gladys should be, you know, like with the microphone, and then back to Pips. Like, you know, like it was so funny. That show was way ahead of its time. Like, had Robin Williams, him, you know, like go back and watch their like they did a To Kill a Mockingbird sketch where like Richard Pryor plays like the racist lawyer, and it's one of the funniest bit, you know. And like they have Robin Williams playing the other guy, and it's so good. Like there's so many good little bits in there. Like I'm surprised they let him get away with it back then. I think that's the thing that I noticed is just like even with that, like it was all like, you know, he was talking about racial stuff and like that kind of thing and trying to be, you know, and like I'm surprised they let that happen, let alone like he wasn't saying anything just offensive in any way, you know, but it was just like that, like at that time definitely didn't seem like it would be on TV then, you know. But
well, he was so damn popular though, they didn't care. They were just like, wow, I mean, you know, everybody loved Richard Pryor, it seemed. So it was like, you know, he could do no wrong. Give him a TV show, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like,
I think it had, I'm trying to remember who else it had in there, but there was some, like he got Maya Angelou to do like a thing on that too. Like, which is another great one. Talking about the drunk coming home. That one was fantastic. But yeah, like that's just one of those rabbit holes you end up going down, because once you watch one of them, then YouTube just recommends like all the other ones to you. So you're like, oh, I guess I'll just keep clicking, and you know, but
yeah, that was the era of the variety show. You know, you had all kinds of shit like that back then. Everybody had a variety show back then. You have some skits, you have some music, you know, and then whatever.
Yeah, like Chappelle,
you know, Flip Wilson was another. Chappelle
went on Star Search. That was
oh,
the thing about Chappelle. Yeah, he was on Star Search, and he does a whole bit about it where it's like he talks about like, you know, it's like, yeah, I was on Star Search, and they're like, did you win? And he just goes like, do you even remember who won? Like I made it, motherfucker. Like I'm here, you know. The guy who won isn't here, You know, like he's like, yeah, who remembers any of the winners from Star Search? Like nobody. Like, you know.
Did Sinbad ever win? I know Sinbad did Star Search
maybe.
too. I think
he did Apollo more often though. Like I think that's where he
right.
got, you know, where
there,
he got
there are a
popular,
lot
but...
of people. There are a lot of old schoolers that did that shit, you know.
Yeah.
Star Search. And then it's just like they were like one and dones, but then it ends up being like, you know, Bill Burr or somebody like that. You know, it's just like, you know, I don't want to do this shit anyway, you know, and then they end up doing something else. So you get jaded from getting rejected from Star Search, and it makes you a better comic, and you end up being better
that's
because
the thing
of
is that like comedy is so much about failure. Like until you get in front of that crowd that really gives you nothing, you know, like we talked about Kill Tony when I was on your show last, right? Like it's so good to see comics fail. For one, it's one of the funniest things comics can do is bomb. Like it's hilarious because you just go, yep, I know exactly. Like they're just in a lot of pain, and pain is funny. Like, but it also does, like the ones that like where you can pinpoint why it went wrong. Like, you know, that's what's good about those, you know. So, but yes, sir.
I was trying to see if I could find some people who were on Star Search that were comedians. They have a lot of Drew Carey was on there.
Okay.
Kevin James, Adam Sandler, Dave Chappelle, Sinbad was on there. He had hair. You know, Brad Garrett.
Norm Macdonald. Norm.
Who?
Norm.
Ray Romano. Ray Romano was on there. Hey Robert. Hey Robert. Martin Lawrence. Norm.
Brad Garrett. Yeah, Norm.
Rosie
Martin
O'Donnell.
Lawrence, Dennis Miller. Mencia. Ooh. That makes sense.
Mencia.
Mark Summers. Now that's from my childhood, Mark Summers. You know?
I actually know I worked with a meteorologist who is like great friends with Mark Summers. Talk about, you know, your 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, I used to watch like Double Dare, right? Like that was my Double Dare was like my era of, well, like they did a remake around the time I was a kid too. So they had like Double Dare 2000, and then but it was still with Mark Summers, and then they have like the old Double Dare as like reruns, right? And
does that say he's 69 years old? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah,
that's
like,
crazy.
But he also had it was also the era of Nickelodeon game shows when I was like, you had Guts and like, would you know, what was the other one with the, like, they had like the head, and it would be like blank, blank, blankety blank, and blank. It was like What's My Line essentially, but with like a little help, right? It was, you know, this person would come on and be like, I have the world record for putting crackers in my mouth, like, you know, and that would be like the thing, and then they would ask like yes or no questions to like figure out what it was, you know, and if they said like the magic word, they'd get slimed, you know. So it was like classic.
That was Double Dare,
stuff.
Wasn't it?
No, Double Dare was Double Dare had slime too, but it wasn't like
okay.
It was like you either had to answer trivia, right? Or you could opt for, like, if you couldn't answer, you had to opt for like a physical challenge. Right? And like depending on which one they did, or like sometimes they do like it would be with the whole family or whatever, you know, and it would be like they'd give you like a hat with a giant hot dog on it, and you had to catch like hot dog buns with it, and, you know, like,
right.
It'd be stuff like that. you know.
I'm trying to
Then they'd have like the
see
thing at
which
the end. They'd have like the obstacle course, and you'd like collect flags, you know. But it was always like messy stuff, or like, you know, it was one of those.
yeah.
Yeah, like you had to
I'm trying to
you
see
had to
which one
slide
it is.
into a giant thing of like whipped cream or whatever, which is probably like not whipped cream. It was probably like shaving cream or something that they like. But they would have like a pizza. I remember the pizza. You'd have to like undo everything, and but I'm trying to remember what other like
That's so weird. All it says is Double Dare, but I'm trying to see. I know which one you're talking about.
yeah, well, there was Figure It Out. That was like
Guts. It wasn't Guts, was it?
Guts was the sports one. Guts was one of my favorites. Right? Guts had like had the ones where like they'd put all the kids in like bungee cord stuff, and then like play basketball and bungee cords, doing crazy dunks, and they'd have like a racetrack thing where they would give them like these cool like recumbent like bikes, and they'd like, you know, go around a track or whatever. They'd have like little obstacle course things. But the thing that which I would love to have one of these, there was what did they call it? I know it'll be in here. Hold on. So let me pull up this. There we go. So yeah, there was My Family Got Guts. But these are all of the there was a couple of them that I remember. So we'll pull that one. I'm trying to see if there's the other one. Legends of the Hidden Temple. Get the Picture. Was it Finders Keepers? That was the other one. I'm surprised they let kids go through with these. But Guts, right, was the Crag, right? So
It wasn't Salute Your Shorts, was it?
No, that was like around the same era, but that was like a comedy thing they were doing. That was like kids at camp or whatever. But so this was the aggro Crag. Can I zoom in?
Holy shit.
Right?
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, so
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, like the kids would have to climb up this like mountain thing, right? And you know, they'd shoot. It was like American Gladiator style. Like they'd have little air cannons that would go off and stuff, and whichever kid like made it up first or whatever would win like that day's episode, pretty much, right? So let's see if it's got any other. Yeah, and then they would give you one of these. Like they actually had a trophy, right? And you'd get one of these giant like acrylic. This was like a piece of the aggro Crag you could take home, and I would like want one so much. But they had Guts for the Nintendo. Yeah, probably can't play the videos either. But I love how people have like done country lineups for like global Guts. See who won the most like dumb stuff. Famous contestants. None of these are anyone. Backstreet Boy. Mike Vogel.
Mike Vogel.
Yeah.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
He's starting to be one of that guys, because he's been in a few things I've seen before, and I'm like, hey, it's that guy. It's Mike Vogel. That's funny.
So they had Guts, then they had one of my favorites, which was Legends of the Hidden Temple, right? This was craziness, right? So this was all right. So first you have this cesspool that was in some LA warehouse somewhere, right? That I'm sure is like perfectly filtered and clean because it looks that way, right?
Right.
But they would have like they would have these teams, right? And the teams were like all color coded, right? So you'd have like the red Jaguars, the blue Barracudas, the green monkeys, right? The orange iguanas, the silver snakes, right? These are like classic Nickelodeon stuff. But they'd have, so the first stage was like, okay, you had to get across the moat, right? And there would be some like physical challenge to get across the moat, right? You know, they'd give you a boogie board and you couldn't fall off the boogie board or whatever it was, right? And and you would try to not fall in the water. There'd be some like you had to hang onto the rope or whatever, right? But then you had like there was like multiple hosts and stuff, but then you got to this stage, right, which was like they'd tell you some story, right, some legend, right, and it would be like Amelia Earhart or you know Harriet Tubman or some figure, you know, talk and you'll they'd have a story about it or whatever. And this was essentially like they test the kids who made it over the moat, right? Like on their like they tell them the story, and then this guy Olmec would like read them the story. This big statue which like moves,
right? And he'd
yep. And
yeah,
they would do like
it used to freak me out.
Oh, it was that's not even the worst part. Like I was so afraid of this show as a kid. Not that this bit was fine. Like the story time was good. Story time. But so like what would happen is like they'd get an answer right, okay, and everyone who got the answer right would like move down to like this level until you know you get 2 people left, right? And then they would do like they would take those 2 teams, and for most of the show you'd be competing for these little like medallions, right? Pieces of a medallion essentially. You'd get like 1/2 and 1/2, right? And they do like 4 like challenges essentially. But it would be like put this kid on this medieval torture device, spin him around, he's got to stay on here. Like, and then this was not the only one. Like, they had like crazy different, like, let's see if they give us any more.
There was human sacrifices. There was
right. What are these? What is going on with wikis these days? So yeah, so you'd have the steps of knowledge, right, and then you'd have like the temple games, right, and then there was the temple run, right. Let's see if I can find, Legends of the Hidden Temple run. Right? So they had this. This was the temple run, right? So let's see if I can find can I find a video of it? Is that too much to ask? Can I mute it and then like play? No, because it's gonna immediately hit the button I don't want to. There. So, but yeah, they had like, so they'd start these kids and they'd send them in, and those medallions you were trying to get for the whole show, where so that when this like studio tech in like you know a vaguely jungly outfit, right, would come in, right, like, and you see all these like little spots for things to hide, right, like there's one, right, and that's not even a good one, you know, but essentially she gave him the coin and like he went away, right? So but your time you only have like so long to get out, right? And you have to go get this like this was like the Cannonball of Galileo temple run, right? So you, in one of these rooms there'd be the Cannonball of Galileo, or it'll be like Amelia Earhart's goggles, or you know whatever, right? And this is the monkey room where you got to put together that monkey statue, right? Like I remember all of this, but oh, she got. Now we send the other kid in to, but like these were usually like way scarier, like because it would be like those guys would literally like jump out of somewhere and then just like grab the kid, you know, and just like you know, there was do they have the spooky trees in this one? That was the spookiest. The spooky trees. Is there like a best of guards? Best of hidden. Like. But yeah, like it was the scariest stuff when I was a kid. Like, just because it was like those guys that jumped out were like ridiculous, you know, and like it was so tension, like the music was crazy and spooky, right? Like,
yeah, it was like very intense. Yeah,
that's not
those fuckers that jump out. Them fuckers jump out of the shadows. You're like, fuck, man.
Heading for the throne room.
Yeah, and they'd make that noise, but like it was just that one's not even like the. There was definitely ones where like that guy was trying to scare children, you know.
Yeah.
Like, but then you had Get the Picture. That was another weird one. It was like there was one Connect the Dots. Dots outlined of a thing, food, animal, and then you just try to like name what that was, I think. Right? There was like it was like all picture based stuff. So it would be like it would zoom in on something and then be like, what is this? You know, and be like, I don't know. And then like zoom out a little bit more and like, oh, okay, what about now? You know, like I don't know why they thought this would go well on television. Right? But I mean it was always like crazy, like they just put in a crazy set, you know, but yeah, like you see you'd have this where like you'd get like one square of a thing and then you get another square and be like,
right,
you know, it's a fucking pound of weed, like, you know, I wish, but that's what we need to do. These are like stoners would watch the crap out of these shows. I guarantee you. One of my favorite ones was Finders Keepers, right? And this was
I think I remember this one.
Yeah, this one was ridiculous. Like, but essentially, I think they made a game show version. But they have actual images of it. No, why does a wiki not have images of a thing that you know you're trying to wiki? All right, hold on. So, images, not the Stephen King novel. Right? So, yeah, here we go. Right? So, what they do is they had this, like, this set here with, like, different rooms in it, right? And, they would, like, one would be, like, the bedroom, and one would be, like, a standard house thing, right? And they would give you essentially a, like, they would give you, like, a time limit to find something, right? And you'd go through this house or whatever, right? And essentially it would be 30 minutes of children tearing apart a room, right? You know,
right.
And they would get like a clue, like this clue's coping rays sitting on a chaise, right? Like coping rays. There we go. So it's like you're looking for, you know, like the sunglasses or whatever, right? You know, and they would just go through, just start tearing apart like everything and pulling cereal out of the wall and like, you know, it was designed to look ridiculous if they like, you know, if they did. But I just found it like such a like, it's one of those like, yeah, you can't do this at your parents' house. Like, you know, it was one of those shows. But like for
those hairstyles too. Jesus, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is what
his hair
cocaine in the 90s will get you in entertainment. Like, you know, this is what they thought people wanted to watch. Like, you know, and it also like, do you remember? I mean, that this sort of like supermarket sweep then, right? And like, it was like the era of that game show of like just some random like game show to put on. But yeah, like, yeah, just like go into the room that's like, I don't know who has this room in their house, but it's a sand pit and beach balls and like a lifeguard's chair. You know, I don't know which room that is in your apartment, but you know, like,
but yeah, they said, man, get that kiddie pool out. We'll put some sand in it, man, and put some toys in it and shit.
I'm trying to remember if there's any other. They did Robot Wars on Nickelodeon for a while.
Robot Wars was the shit. I love Robot Wars.
Yeah.
I used to get high as fuck and watch Robot Wars.
Oh, there's
hell
some good
yeah,
ones
man.
Now. Like
they'd have those pregame like interviews with the robot makers.
Yeah.
And one guy have like this super badass looking thing, and then like in like 5 seconds that thing was toast because this little bitty thing that looked like a plate with wheels would scoop under it and just flip it over.
Dude,
and
flipper
it's
robots
just like-
are insane. There was one I saw recently that was like some crazy new designed thing that was essentially, it was a flipper, but it used like centrifugal like flipping force, and like it was crazy. Like it was like a hydraulic, what do they call that? It was like pneumatic or hydraulic. It was woo, and it was just, things were gone, like flying 8 feet away, you know.
Yeah.
But
they have
like,
those things like they were like almost like trebuchets. Is that what they're called? The things that would just like and just fling shit over, or just they'd have something that would just pop right in front of it, and then just like flip whatever was in front of it. Yeah, it was robots, crazy, man.
Right. So have you seen those robo dogs that are coming to take all of our souls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they keep trying to make people feel better over at Boston Dynamics by making these murder machines dance, right? And this one doesn't make me feel better, right?
Holy
because
shit.
It's kind of crazy. I of course have to mute because Rolling Stones are going to come after me. But like that's a robot, people.
Nightmares.
Like he's like moving his mouth and stuff. Oh, what I can do is I can mute it for stream and then play it for you. How about that?
Cool. Oh, the other one's Keith Richards.
Right?
Oh my God, there's like a whole band of them.
Yep.
This is what hell looks like.
Yep.
These are the gatekeepers to hell.
Oh yeah. Like,
I mean, the robots. I mean, the ones on the left, probably them too, but
yeah,
you know, eventually. But they are right now. Look at that shit, man. That looks like you get a little kid to watch something like that, he'd be like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Mick Jagger.
Why are they trying to humanize
scary.
these things?
Because they.
I mean,
why are
they?
Like, they want you to not be afraid of the murder machine when it comes to murder you. Like they want you to just picture Mick Jagger being, you know, sexually suggestive. Like, you know, between this and the other one they did.
They should send Mick Jagger to murder people.
Yeah, I mean, that would probably work out.
Cut
better
out the middleman. Just.
I mean,
yeah, you know,
Keith can't die. We all know this. Keith is just not able to die. So you send him in, and he should be fine. Like, he's definitely got enough. Like, I know they started that one of the excuses for a lot of these like robots was like, oh yeah, if a nuclear disaster happened, you could send these robots in, and they could turn off the nuclear juice at the nuclear factory. Like, you know, instead of sending the old people who are already gonna die. You know. Like, that's like, I feel like Keith is just impervious to irradiation. He's just done so many drugs that, like, he's just immune, you know?
He's done he's done the right number and the right combination of it.
I mean, have you seen him now? They have to like wheel him out like it's Weekend at Bernie's. It's you
really
know, it's now hit him to where it's like, but like, well, actually, like, well, like, he just looks like the drunk guy at the bar now. You know, he looks like that guy who's just like, oh, he like with cigarette still, you know, like in the corner. Yeah, but it's like that. It's like, yep. It's just like, guys, I wrote satisfaction with like fucking, you know. But like these were like, dude,
he was already. He's been looking like a catcher's mitt for like 20 years already,
yeah.
And now, it's probably, I don't know. Maybe he's just he doesn't do drugs anymore, and maybe he should.
Who knows? Maybe that's what it is. It's just like, get that guy heroin right now. Like, What are we doing?
I mean, if you're that old, why not? You know, take
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you want, man. Are they in their
That'll be
80s
like-
yet?
Must be. I mean, how old is Mick?
Well, they're definitely 70s for sure, but I think they're starting to get in the
78.
80s now.
Yeah, Keith is 77. So
Woo.
yeah, I mean this is
Those
the
fuckers
Keith.
are gonna be Jesus.
Like that's what Keith looks.
He looks
now.
like Keith looks like he was on a spaceship and he got shot out of an airlock without a suit for like 2 minutes, and then they managed to get him back in.
like he what is it with Arnold?
Yeah, the Mars movie.
The Mars
yeah,
movie, yeah. What is it?
Total Recall,
Total
yeah.
Recall. Where he's like, yeah, that's that. He just got Craig. What is it? What is the guy's name? The one that gets like the head exploded. Quaig,
Oh,
right? Yeah, he gets quagged out there in the vacuum of Mars. You know, so like, and then brought back. So it's just like he got head expansion and then shrinkage, like a shrinky dink, and then he got like those shrinky dink wrinkles in there. You know. Like,
oh yeah, when his eyes were starting to bulge out. And what's her
Yeah.
name too?
Yeah.
Hers was doing that too.
like
She was
it's just funny.
Rachel Tacotin.
Like-
Tacotin, is that her name?
Rachel-
And it had Michael
oh, yeah.
Ironside in it too. So
Yeah.
you know that's who was Ronnie Cox? He was Ray Baker. Who the fuck
Ray
is that?
Baker.
That's not Ray Baker.
Hmm.
But Ronnie Cox was in it.
I like how Dor talked about
McLean.
this week with Nick Cruz, right? Talked about the spinners, and it's like, Jimmy, you know this guy has no idea. Like, this is, if you search spinners, that's what this is. You get this. That's how old your reference was, Jim. Like this, not like, and watch. All we had to do is put in the, and then you get the spinners. This is who he was like.
Right.
I'm trying to remember what like Nick had on, like a jacket that was a little like extra or whatever, and he's like, yeah, you know about the spinners?
Oh,
They
the
dress nice."
shirt.
Like, yeah. He's like, they dress nice, the spinners. Like, this is, I just found it hilarious.
That's the one Indy said looked like it was wearing a Journey shirt, like it was wearing
Journey
like a Journey
shirt.
album cover shirt.
Like Ed Harney. And then you got Sabs wearing the sweater. You know? I just found that like they spit so much fire
right?
wearing a sweater. Like, how do you do that? You know? Like,
It's like I like Roman his Russian hat. His,
so good. So good.
Those hats are warm.
Dude, those are crazy. Like, those hats are awesome. Everyone wants one. Have you ever seen the Khabib's hat? Do you know about Khabib? I'm weird fight nerd. Khabib hat. I want one of these. Right, one of these these things. Like, I love the name on this. What? Russian Caucasian headdress. That's what this is called, apparently. Whatever that means. But yeah, these are like one of these just weird Russian
Well, it
hat
could be
things.
like the Caucasus
Rogan wearing
Mountains are in Russia, so maybe that's what they're talking about.
That's
Hang on a
possible.
second.
Yeah, he's over there in
It's
Dagestan.
like that's where Caucasians are from.
Yeah.
Where is it? Ah,
Oh, are you looking for your hats?
it's in here.
You're like, what's that scene from a hat? You know? Or the
Right.
prop game?
No, I got one of them fucked up. We call it a fucked up beaver hat because you wear it.
Fucked
and you're
up
like,
beaver hat. But yeah,
Here we
Khabib
go. Fuck, man.
Khabib hats are great. I love Rogan wearing it. Like Rogan looks like he's got hair.
Look like Phyllis Diller. Looks like
Phyllis Diller.
like some of those things. that old chick from the 70s, man. Let me put this shit on. Fuck. I think I might be able to. No, I can't do that.
Big fights this
All
weekend.
right, so there we go.
Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington. You know, nice to see that. Nice to see that racist get something else broke. Hopefully, Kamaru finds something new to break.
Look at that hat.
Yeah, dude, that's the funny thing about. So Colby Covington, this guy became like he's also here he is with the orange man bad, wearing his MAGA hat. You know, he's fighting.
He should be wearing this hat.
Nigerian welterweight champion of the world right now in Kamaru Usman. After his last bout with him, got his jaw broke, but apparently that's fake news. FYI, from Colby.
He didn't get his jaw broken.
Yeah, apparently that's yeah. Like, no, dude, you got pieced up. You know, like, but it'll be interesting to see that fight. It's going to be a good fight for sure. I don't know who else is on that card, but just for this weekend, right? Because you got Kamaru Usman, Rose Namajunas versus Zhang Wei Li. Interesting fact: Zhang Wei Li got helped into the country, I think, by none other than Tulsi Gabbard. You know, and it was really weird watching a fight and then seeing Tulsi Gabbard in the ring. Like, I'm like, why is she here? You know, apparently she helped some of the passport stuff there. But this is going to be crazy.
You ever seen her like You ever seen her like doing the punching bag and like in the ring and stuff, man? She's got some kick fighter moves herself, man.
Oh, for sure. Like, you know, plus she's like in the gym all the time. She looks like she's right at fight weight, like all the time. So
she may learn some of that shit in the military too, like some of the, you know, fucking roundhouse and shit like that.
Yep. But like this is gonna.
She could whoop my ass. I'd love that.
The ending of this last fight. This is another, you know, second go around for them. But Rose caught Zhang with like a crazy head kick off movement that Zhang usually uses. Like, it was just someone watched tape of her and Sanchai, which is another legend. You know, Sanchai taught her this little like hip move to like get out of kicks. You know, and then Rose like exploited that move to like catch one anyway, and it was just. It came out of nowhere, and it was just one of those, like, it was one of those ones. Let's see if I can find, because the UFC now does this. There you go. It's one of those Rogan, like, crazy, one of those reactions from Rogan. Oh God! Oh, like just one of those. It was one of those. So, like, so good. Do they actually have like? Probably can't click too many of those. This one will actually play things. Just guy laughing to Rogan's reaction. But yeah, it was like, it was out of nowhere, real good. But anyway, I have kept you here for 2 hours, my friend. So
I got my hat.
Yeah, you do.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was a fast 2 hours.
Yep.
It's my hat. This is my fucked up beaver hat. When my lady friend comes over, I go. You
get some of those, like, what is it? The Jethro teeth at the bodega, you know? Like,
a funny story there. I went to a Halloween party as a redneck in Mississippi, so it was like I just threw on some shit, and then I got some Bubba teeth. I had overalls, Bubba teeth. And I'd go into the party. And then later, I would be sitting there having intellectual conversations with people because we were all stoned, but I still had the Bubba teeth in. So I'm talking about like, why, yes, actually, the cost of peach
is like
you get that
is like a hot dog a sandwich or more like a bread taco. Like that's one of those, like, I used to love doing that in video games, just asking people dumps like, do ice hotels have ice toilets? Like, you know,
oh God,
like, how does that work? You know what I mean? Like, is it a clear toilet? If it is ice, is it like clear ice so you could like see things going? Do you want to see it going through? Is the question. Like, you know, and like if you sit there for too long, like, does it melt? And you gotta like, you know, that's these are the questions. If anyone's ever been to one of those ice hotels, you know,
what if you had eaten a lot of spicy foods then used that? Would that, or like, would that you're sitting there just
or like ate some asparagus. You ate some asparagus and you gotta like take one of those hot ones, you know, like just extra yellow, you know. But yeah, just these dumb little philosophical questions. You know, we got what? We got, you know, does a bear shit in the woods? Right? We got, you know, what's the other one I was just thinking of?
Does the Pope wear a funny hat?
Right. Like if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does it piss off a woodpecker?
Can I have it?
Yeah, like,
oh yeah.
You know, but you know, and like, is a hot
like
dog
free
a sandwich?
Tree,
like, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yeah, it's a hot dog sandwich. It's a
like,
hot dog sandwich.
Or is it?
I don't know. The bread that, if you're in a bun, you mean like traditional hot dog in a bun?
Yeah, like in the bun.
I don't think that's a sandwich.
Not like what you did in Mississippi, where you like cut the hot dog in half and then like put it on the thing, and then made like a hot dog sandwich where you got like 4 little links just sticking out over the bread, you know. Like, yeah, and you don't cut it all the way, so you get like two hot dogs, whatever. You know, or you got like dude, my dad's from that neck of the woods, and it was just like, yeah, cooking breakfast for like a kid for him was just like, all right, we got cornbread, we got some hot dogs, and we got eggs. Okay, like, you know, we're gonna make some cornbread and eggs real quick, you know. And it was like, you know,
that shit
just
was
with little
good
cut
too.
up hot dogs in there. But yeah, dude, cornbread and eggs is what's up. Like,
my dad used to make homemade pizzas. He'd do that. He'd cut up hot dogs and put on there.
Yeah, my dad does that now. He'll just take like salami from out there and just like cut it up, throw it on there, you know, and be like, I'll put extra on it. I'm like, I see that, you know. Like, it's like he's got like like a frozen pizza, like, just, you know, on the thing with
yeah,
like,
just load it out, right?
Load it out, yeah, with like every luncheon meat he had in there, you know. So like, I love that. Like, I love.
He got the whole Oscar Mayer catalog just all over that.
I mean, he like pastrami. He'll just throw whatever on there. Like,
we'll buy. So you could get dollar cheese slices here, and I'll go and buy my own pepperoni, and then when my girl comes over, because you get like one of the big ass cheese, like a big one, for like maybe like $8 or something, right? And then we just buy our own pepperoni and just stick that shit on there, like,
yeah.
Because if you buy the cheese slice with pepperoni, it's like $1.75, so it's almost like double the price. But
yeah,
you get it at the store, it's cheaper. You just put that shit on there. Stick it to the man, baby.
Why are frozen pizzas so much worse than regular pizza? How do you not get, like, there has to be someone who can make a pizza that is frozen, that is normal, that is like normal pizza. I don't know why it like why is it on cardboard? What is that? Like, I don't even know if you can call it.
Yeah,
dough.
it's like
yeah.
If you even, if you do everything just right, still it's just like and the sauce tastes like ass.
So as a New Yorker, what's your pizza preference? Like, do you go out, try to get that coal fired? Like, do you go Sicilian?
We went to this festival they were having underneath the in Brooklyn Bridge Park, and they had a truck there with a wood-fired oven.
Yeah.
And that shit was good.
Yeah.
But you got your regular like there's this place, Two Brothers. They do the slice. You get a cheese slice and a drink, I think, for like $1.75, something like that, or $2.75. I can't remember. $2 maybe, and then you get the single slice. But there's this place around the corner, Pepitone's, I think it's what it's called. And oh no, it's Love, L-U-V, the letter N, and then oven. So Love and Oven.
Shout out to Love's Oven over there on Queens and shit. Like,
yo, that shit on DeKalb over Fort Greene, son. Peace.
Like,
and they stack it up high.
Oh yeah,
they got good shit over there. So, and then plus there's Gourmet Garden 8, which has the best Mexican food, but they're all Chinese people.
New York, man.
Fucking,
like that's the way it goes.
Cheap, and it's good.
Yeah,
it's good. That is like the best. That I mean, it's the closest Mexican, but it's still great. You get like chicken soft tacos and like chicken burrito. Nice. We're making all the stoners in the chat. So like, I've got like a burrito in the freezer. I could like microwave that burrito right now and like give me some. Like everyone's thinking, munchy stuff. That should be a segment. Oh, I know what we do. We'll end on this one. Let's go. Here. Yeah, this will make everyone super happy, and then we'll close. So let's pull up presentation again. So this is over at Chef Steps. I've been a fan of them for a minute, back before they even had money. Now they found some money and they started selling sous vide equipment and stuff like that. They have one of the better ones out there, but like, ooh.
Dude. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Some or all of these things. But like, let's go to just skip to the part we all want to see. They've got like dulce de leche in there. Oof. Like with the salt on top. He's got the Japanese knife out to cut, brownie sashimi.
Oh no.
They put miso in there.
Miso.
Yeah. Yeah, like a orange or a red. Like a real dark one. Like only a little bit. Get some of that umami. It can easily be THC brownies.
Oh.
By the way, one of my if I ever get into a green room that Jimmy Dore is in, he talked about that no one makes a good French omelet anymore, right? And I have spent quite a while learning how to do a French omelet, right? I can do one for any woman that wants to stay over at my house. I'm more than willing to make you a French omelet in the morning.
That address is
yeah, exactly. Like next time on date, like what was the date show where it was like
the dating game?
Yeah, like the dating game. That was it. But like I want to make him a medicated like French omelet, just to be that guy. Like make him a French omelet with a bunch of butter and like no color, perfect. Like if Jacques Pepin made that crap himself. And then Snoop Dogg decided to just sneak some, like, butter in there. Like, dude, I'm gonna get you fucked up on a high level French omelet with like Gruyere and stuff. Like, what is that? What you want? But anyway, dude, these brownies.
I don't think he wants kids. I don't think he wants kids, but he might adopt you if you did that.
Oh yeah, I'm down for that. But like,
you could be Jimmy Diller's kid,
dude. Yeah, give me the money shots, please. Like, stop
what is that in
talking.
the middle? Is that peanut
like
butter?
Dulce de leche.
Oh,
so like that's where you go get you one of those. Go to the bodega, right? Go get you a can of sweetened condensed milk, right? Like Carnation.
Ooh, yes.
Right, and then I want you to take another pot, put that pot on the stove, and put water in that pot. Take all the paper off the can, right? Put the whole can of sweetened condensed milk in your pot of water. Turn it on high. Sit there with a spoon and just like wait for it to like turn brown and delicious. You know, stir it a bunch. You know, so and then it reduces down to dulce de leche. Right? It was essentially a fake caramel, right? So,
right on.
You know, throw some. So you can also buy dulce de leche at the store, but I'm just like, why? When you can just buy, you know, sweetened condensed milk for like, you know, but
that shit's good
cake,
in
yeah.
That shit's good in Vietnamese coffee too.
Oh, dude, I'm such a fan of Vietnamese coffee. Like,
Vietnamese coffee is the best coffee. It is so like that's probably the best fucking coffee I've ever drank.
It's so good.
And apparently there's that cat shit coffee. You ever heard of that? Where the cat eats the beans?
That's where like that lemur eats the beans. Yeah. Why is this?
There was a joint in that one.
But they also did I could also definitely make this medicated. This was their original Rich's
biscuits.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You know what?
Biscuits.
This is back when they did less talking.
Biscuit?
Yes, you do. Yeah, you do.
I mean, like
so we've like grated.
I'll have some biscuit
butter.
with my butter. Is that what it is?
Pretty much.
I mean, I'd be down for that.
Well, you know, that's what it is. 450 grams of heavy cream right there.
Heavy cream. Jesus.
Yeah.
Very cold.
Yeah. You got to keep that butter not melted. We're going to shape them out. Now, the other trick you could do here is you see how like he like pushed it down, right? So what you've done is you've taken tiny little flakes of butter, right, that are frozen, right? And you suspended them in flour, right? So you have these little like flakes in there, right? Now you spread that out, okay? Right? Now what I want you to do is take like your pastry cutter, right? Your like dough cutter, and you're going to cut like cut it in half lengthwise, like latitude, right? Then cut it into thirds longitude, and then stack those all on top of each other and then squish down again. Right? And like then you start getting all those like layers of striations that you've like set in there. You've now like put on top and then compressed, so you get like even more little layers in there, right? And you could theoretically keep doing that. Then you could take this dough, flatten it all the way out, then take another slab of butter, put it on top, and then just fold dough over butter, and then just keep folding about 8 turns, and then you get croissants. But you know, so, but like, yeah, and then we cut them all out, put them in the thing, and they're just beautiful little biscuits. Cut those open, put some whipped cream and some strawberries on there. Yeah. Ice cream, some strawberries.
Oh, so they're like the dessert biscuits.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely use them as regular biscuits if you wanted to. Add some cheese in there, like, they're just ridiculous amounts of calories for like a biscuit. You know?
Yeah.
So, like, you might get like one or two, and that you'll probably go to sleep. Like, could you imagine putting then like gravy on top of that? Like, then, you know, like you've already got like 400 grams of heavy cream and butter, and now you're putting like butter, roux, heavy cream on top of that with some like good sausage fat in there, you know. But
I got to tell you this before I forget. Speaking of biscuits, so I'm always on the lookout for biscuits. There's no biscuits around here. This is roll country. It's all about rolls, right?
yeah,
But I was in the Stop and Shop over here a few days ago, and in their bakery section, I saw in plastic, but they were trying. It was homemade biscuits in there.
nice.
And I
The
was
frozen
like,
ones aren't bad either. You know, do you do,
I said,
do you do drop,
yeah, I
drop biscuits or cut biscuits? Which do you prefer?
what are drop biscuits?
Let me pull up some. So cut are like the ones you just saw, right? But drop biscuits are just ones that you like, literally like drop onto the pan, like you just scoop them out. Like the ones from like Red Lobster are like drop biscuits. You know?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man. We'll go
Like-
to some Red Lobster just to get the cheddar biscuits.
Yeah.
Those things are fucking good.
Yeah. But
No,
these
we
are
do do like the mountain biscuits. They're like
Yep. Yeah. Usually those are drop, and they just make a giant one. You know. So.
and because those things are incredibly good, especially
Yeah.
like if you make some breakfast biscuits out of them, stick some egg and cheese in there and
Oh yeah.
whatever meat you likes.
Dude, I could eat breakfast
Oh my God.
for every meal. Breakfast is like the
I could too.
like
If there was a Waffle House near me, I would probably weigh
Oh.
like 900 pounds. Because I would just eat there every day. It would
What
just be.
exactly.
I mean, there are
is
breakfast
a grit?
places.
Can you get
It's,
grits that are decent there? Like, is that a thing? Can you find grits that are edible? You know?
I can't remember the last time I had grits, to be honest with you.
Like,
Oh wait, there is a soul food. The soul food joints around here, they're the closest you're gonna get to Southern cooking.
and you might
Because,
get like cheese grits there or
and-
whatever.
Yeah, they'll have
Mhm.
like cheese grits. They'll do shrimp grits. Mostly shrimp grits.
Yeah,
Those are really good. And cheese grits too, but
yeah.
not like Waffle House grits.
Not like Waffle House
Oh.
grits. There's something about just
Waffle
like
House
a
grits, you get
bowl of grits.
right.
You
Well,
know?
it's like, let's say you've been at the bar or something, you've been drinking a lot or whatever, you got the munchies, whatever, and you go there and you get like a big plate of grits, and then you get like 2 fried eggs, and then you bust up the yolk and the egg and mix it up with the grits, right?
Yeah,
And then put that on some toast, on that buttered toast, maybe stick a couple of strips of bacon on there, and then put another piece of toast on top of that. You got like the best breakfast sandwich. Oh my
dude,
God.
it's so good. One of my
So
my mother's
good.
tricks was you got leftover grits, right? Like you made too many grits. Pour those grits into like a loaf pan, right? Put it in the fridge, right? And then take it out, cut it into like slices, and then like fry those. And then you get like crispy edged like corn, like hash brown things. They're pretty fucking great.
That's what Mama
So-
used to do with the extra mashed potatoes. She'd make patties and then she'd fry them up.
Yeah, that's smart.
And those
Make like
that was pretty.
pierogies and
I mean,
stuff.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but anyway, we are
Oh
right
my
at
God.
12:32. I'm more than willing to continue talking to you here, but we should probably end the stream. I appreciate everyone showing up. They should definitely head over to Warren's stuff. What are you doing next? When's your next thing?
Next Thursday, the 11th, I got Franco from Frank and Alice. He said he's going to come on. We're going to make sure that that goes down. And then the week after that is going to be Rick Overton on at extrabulia.com.
Yep. Pop in it and share now.
I think I'm frozen again. It's fine.
I got you.
I don't think it's my internet. I think it's just I have stiff joints. And that's
Need
why I
that.
don't I don't move that much. So,
Gotta
but
get
give them a
little up.
like and a subscribe and spread the word about Reefer,
Reefer After Dark. Yep. Everyone should definitely do a little bit of Reefer After Dark at least once a week, you know? So
thank you for letting me be your first guest, man. I am totally honored, brother.
Easy
Thank
choice,
you.
Man. Easy choice. You know,
Aww.
I knew you'd get stoned on camera, so that's kind of the deal. You know, that's the hard part. Yeah. So, but anyway, if anyone else,
me like every man in my life.
Anyone else wants to come get stoned on camera, they're welcome to show up. So, you know, otherwise it might be me and Warren for a minute. So, but whatever, we'll figure it out. So, but anyway, that's been us. Peace, love. Oh, Indie Left News. Definitely go check out his stuff. I think he put a link earlier up in chat. Right, go find him at I think it's Indie Left News on Twitter. Right, IND Left News. Both of our Twitter handles are under us, at Extra Bulla over there with Uncle Warren, and at Reef Breland for me. Go find both of those. We'll keep you updated on everything. And Patreon links are somewhere down in the description. I haven't made mine yet, but I'm sure the fund for Reefer After Dark Goes to Amsterdam will need to grow for us to be able to do that. So, but anyway,
exactly.
That's been us. Peace, love.